7 killer riddles that only the smartest 5% can solve. Do you think you're observant enough to solve these tough riddles? Well, these riddles will definitely test your brain power. Number 1. Sarah and Linda went out for drinks together. They ordered the same drink. Linda was really thirsty and finished 5 in the time it took Sarah to finish 1. The drinks were poisoned, but only Sarah died. How? Answer: the poison was in the ice. Since Sarah's ice had time to melt, she was poisoned, but Linda wasn't. Number 2. A dead female body lies at the bottom of a multi-story building. It looks as though she committed suicide by jumping from one of the floors. When the detective arrives, he goes to the first floor of the building, opens the closed window, and flips a coin towards the floor. He goes to the second floor and does the exact same thing. He continues to do this until he gets to the top floor of the building. When he comes back down, he states that it was a murder and not a suicide. How does he know that? Answer: she couldn't have jumped from any of the floors because when the detective went to each floor, all of the windows were closed. Number 3. Nicole went to the police to report that someone had stolen her vintage ring. When the police got to her house, they noticed that the window was broken. There was a total mess inside, and there were dirty footprints on the carpet. But there were no signs of a break-in. The next day, the police arrested Nicole for fraud. Why? Answer: as soon as the police got to the crime scene, they knew that Nicole has most likely staged the break-in. The glass from the broken window was all outside of the house, meaning that it had been broken from the inside. Number 4. A Japanese ship was leaving the port and on its way to open sea. The captain went to go oil some parts of the ship and took his ring off so it wouldn't get damaged. He left it on the table next to his bunk. When he returned, it was missing. He had suspected 3 crew members could be guilty and asked them what they had been doing for the 10 minutes that he had been gone. The cook said, "I was in the kitchen preparing tonight's dinner." The engineer said, "I was working in the engine room, making sure everything was running smoothly." The seaman said, "I was on the mast correcting the flag because someone had attached it upside down by mistake." The captain immediately knew who it was. How? Answer: it was clearly the seaman. It was a Japanese ship, and a Japanese flag is white with a single red dot in the middle. It can't be hung upside down. Number 5. A couple went to Hawaii for their honeymoon. Unfortunately, the husband returned home alone because his wife had died in a horrible boating accident. The police contacted the travel agent he booked the trip with and arrested him for murdering his wife. How did they know he did it? Answer: the travel agent revealed that he had only booked a one-way ticket for his wife. Number 6. A girl is at the funeral of her mother. She meets a nice guy that she didn't know who was also at the funeral and they hit it off. She was busy at the funeral and didn't have time to ask him for his number before he left. She tried really hard to track him down, but no one knew who he was or how to contact him. A few days later, her sister dies, and the police suspect it to be a murder. Who killed her sister? Answer: she killed her sister. She was hoping that if someone else in her family died, the man she met at her mother's funeral would show up again. No one has figured out these strange science mysteries yet. Can you? Number 7. A man was found on the floor dead with a cassette recorder in one hand and a gun in the other. When the police arrive at the scene, they pressed play on the recorder. It was the man's voice. He said, I have nothing else to live for, I can't go on, followed by the sound of a gunshot. After listening, the police knew that this was a murder, not a suicide. How? Answer. If the dead man had killed himself, he wouldn't have been able to press the reverse button on the cassette recorder. How did you do? Comment below. I hope you enjoyed this video and don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.